Saturday. The protesters were complaining about a hotel that houses asylum seekers. We've seen many such protests south of the border as well. It was organised by a group called Save Our Future and Our Kids' Futures. They said that they've got no affiliation to the far right, but there were some far right horrors at the event. A group called Patriotic Alternative, who we've covered. There were banners such as "Kill Them All." Now, Smitty, I think the point to make here is that protesting against immigration and asylum does not make someone a racist, but these protests do tend to attract racist groups, like a magnet for them to cause trouble and spread their poison. And that's the difficulty, isn't it, with these types of demonstrations?
What people have forgotten in the whole hubbub of this particular protest in Falkirk is there was also a demonstration by local people, not bussed in, local people involved in local trade unions, involved in local third sector groups and all that. They were there to say, we need to do our best to welcome people who are fleeing persecution. So they were there as well to do that. They were faced with a group, this other local group, who do have, I think, genuine concerns about how asylum seekers and economic migrants can be integrated into communities if they're not to be, bunged on a flight to Rwanda. I think on both sides there was people in the local community that had good arguments to make. However, there were also a bunch of absolute outright Nazis and fascists there who feed off this sort of debate. We have to shine a light onto these issues, and there are towns across Scotland where these asylum hotels are, and people have genuine concerns about big groups of young men. It's often young, economically active men who come into a community. How does that affect local services? How does that affect how that's policed? And these are genuine concerns. But as ever, you have the forces of the right, given, I think, a license to operate by Nigel Farage and Reform because of their, frankly, racist take on the whole affair. And they are empowered, and they come into areas like that, and they exploit these genuine concerns for their own gain, as the far right always does. And we have to be absolutely alive to that, I think, at all times, that they are always there waiting, like a skeleton in the cupboard, just waiting to jump out anytime any of this stuff gets raised. So I think local people raising concerns is fine, but really we need to highlight and we need to oppose the far right when they start on their rants, and hopefully that will all be able to do that without any more nonsense.